Adamawa State is a Nigerian state in the northeast geopolitical zone, bordering to the northwest by Borno, to the west by Gombay, to the southwest by Taraba, and to the east by the national boundary with Cameroon. It is named after the former emirate of Adamawa, with Yola, the emirate's old capital, as Adamawa State's capital. The state, which has over 100 indigenous ethnic groups and is one of Nigeria's most diverse, was founded in 1991 when the former Gongola State was divided into Adamawa and Taraba states. Adamawa is the 8th largest state in terms of land, but the 13th least populous in terms of population, with an estimated population of around 4.25 million as of 2016. The state is mostly made up of mountain highlands, the Atlantika, Mandara, and Shebshi ranges, and the Adamawa Plateau, which are intersected by valleys and rivers, most notably the Benue and Gongola rivers. The Adamawa lowlands are part of the West Sudanian savanna in the north and the wetter Guinean forest savanna mosaic in sections of the south, while the Mandara Plateau mosaic and Cameroonian Highlands forests ecoregions are found in the elevated areas. The Gashaka-Gumti National Park is located in the state's extreme south and contains large populations of bushbuck, African buffalo, patis monkey, black and white colobus, giant pangolin, and hippopotamus, as well as some of Nigeria's last remaining Nigeria-Cameroon chimpanzee, African leopard, and African golden cat populations. Various ethnic groups have lived in what is now Adamawa State for years, including the Bwatie, Bachama, Bali, Bata, Bwata, Gudu, Imbula Bwazak, and Ningurab, Lunguda, in the central region. The Kamwe in the north and central region, the Jibu in the far south, the Kilba, Magi, Waga, and Wula in the north, and the Mamuye in the south, while the Fulani live throughout the state, often as nomadic herders. Adamawa is also religiously diverse, with roughly 55% of the population being Sunni Muslim, 30% Christian, mostly Lutheran, ECWA, and Pentecostal, with the remaining 15% following traditional ethnic religions. The Fulani Jihad took parts of modern-day Adamawa State in the early 1800s, becoming the Adamawa Emirate under the Sokoto Caliphate. In the Adamawa Wars, around 90 years later, soldiers from Germany and the British Empire conquered the emirate and divided the region. The British-controlled territory, most of modern-day Adamawa, was absorbed into the Northern Nigeria Protectorate, which ultimately united with British Nigeria before becoming independent as Nigeria in 1960. Allied forces attacked and seized Cameroon during the Cameroon campaign of World War I, and the German-controlled area became a part of German Cameroon. Following the war, what is now Eastern Adamawa State was part of the British Cameroons until 1961, when a vote resulted in a merger with Nigeria. Until 1967, when the northern region was split and the territory became part of the northeastern state, modern-day Adamawa State was a part of the post-independence northern region. The Adamawa State economy is mostly dependent on livestock and crops such as cotton, groundnuts, millet, cassava, guinea corn, and yams, as it is an agriculturally based state. The Boko Haram insurgency has hampered development in Adamawa for years, and the state now has the country's 9th lowest Human Development Index. However, since the instability eased in 2016, development has resumed. Adamawa is one of Nigeria's largest states, with a total area of 36,917 square kilometers. It is bordered on the northwest by Borno, on the west by Gombay, and on the southwest by Taraba. Its eastern border with Cameroon constitutes the country's eastern boundary. Adamawa State's humidity and temperature, particularly during the dry season, begin in November, and it is extremely hot during this time. Each year, the Harmattan period occurs between December and February. The huge river valleys of Benue, Gongola, and Yedsarum cut across the rugged terrain. Mount Cameroon's valleys, the Mandara Mountains, and the Adamawa Plateau are all part of the scenery. Farming is the people's primary employment, as evidenced by their two distinct vegetational zones, the Sub-Sudan and Northern Guinea savanna zones. Cotton and groundnuts are their income crops, while maize, yam, cassava, Guinea corn, millet, and rice are their food crops. The Fulanis raise cattle, while the hamlet residents along the river's banks participate in fishing. The state has a road system that connects all sections of the state. Many villages in the state may be traced back to the colonial era, when Germans dominated a swath of land known as the Northern and Southern Cameroons, stretching from Dikwa in the north to Victoria, Limbe, on the Atlantic coast in the 19th century. With the signing of the Treaty of Versailles at the end of World War I, these were turned up to the British as United Nations Trust territories. The Northern Cameroons joined Nigeria to establish the then Sardauna province, and the Southern Cameroons formed a confederation with French-speaking Cameroon after a series of referendums. The Church of the Brethren in Nigeria, EYN Church, which has its headquarters in Mubi in the state's northern zone, and the Lutheran Church of Christ in Nigeria, LCCN Church, which has its headquarters in Newman in the state's southern zone, both have their headquarters in Adamawa State. American missionaries started the Church of the Brethren in Nigeria, EYN Church, in Garkida Gombay local government of the state in March 1923. Dutch missionaries started the Lutheran Church of Christ in Nigeria, LCCN Church, in Newman in 1913. Adamawa was a tributary kingdom of the Sultanate of Sokoto, which also covered part of northern Cameroon, before becoming a state in Nigeria. The rulers are known as emirs. Modibo Adama, a provincial leader of the Fulani Jihad led by Usman Dan Fodio of Sokoto in 1804 and the kingdom's founder, was given the name Adamawa. Modibo Adama was born in the Guinean region, now a small village, and got a green flag for leading the jihad in his homeland in 1806. Adama conquered many regions and tribes in the years that followed. He relocated his capital to Rabadu in 1838, and then to Joboliwo in 1839. He founded Yola in 1841, where he died in 1848. The rulers remained as emirs after European colonization, first by Germany, then by Britain, and the line of succession has persisted to this day. In January 2015, a measles outbreak was discovered in an internally displaced persons settlement. The Boko Haram conflict has wreaked havoc on Adamawa State. Boko Haram assaulted Gombay, Mubi, and Yola in January 2012. By 2014, Mubi, Madagali, Askira Uba, Bama, and Gwoza in the states of Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe had become home to camps housing an estimated 35,000 internally displaced people escaping Boko Haram assault. A 2014 estimate put the number of IDPs in the Yola area at 400,000. In 2014, there was an attack in Chikawa. In 2015, a suicide bombing in Yola killed more than 30 people. In 2016, a twin suicide bombing in Madagali killed more than 50 people. Mubi is the city in Adamawa State that has been hit the hardest, with heavy attacks in 2012, 2014, 2017, and 2018. The Adamawa Peace Initiative, API, a collaboration of economic, religious, and community leaders, and the Adamawa Muslim Council are two organizations that serve the community. The U.S. Agency for International Development has stated that it will continue to provide humanitarian aid. Boko Haram militants attacked homes and churches in Garkida on February 21, 2020, killing 3 troops and injuring residents. These are higher institutions of education in Adamawa State: Adamawa State Polytechnic, Adamawa State University, Nigerian American University, Yola Federal College of Education. Mubi Federal Polytechnic, Yola's Modibo Adama University. Some tourist and heritage attractions in Adamawa State, the Palace of Nuhu Owalu Wakili. UNESCO World Heritage Site of Sukur, the Palace of Lamido, Michika's Kamali Mountain Peak, Michika's Kwandri Cold Water Spot. There are 21 local government areas, LGAs, in Adamawa State. Demsa, Fufore, Ganye, Gire, Gombay, Guyuk, Hong, Jada, Lamord, Madagali, Maihar, Mayo Belwa, Michika, Mubi North, Mubi South, Newman, Shelling, Song, Toongo, Yola North, State Capital, Yola South, State Capital. The executive is Adamawa State's governor. Yola is home to the Adamawa State House of Assembly, the state legislature.